It was the worst ice storm in Quebec since 1998. In April of 2023, Chateauguay declared a state of emergency after more than 250 homes were flooded. Severe weather like this is happening more and more often. When local infrastructure can't handle the effect, who's responsible for the cost of damage? 1 year later, one Chateauguay resident is getting the runaround. Stéphane Auger's basement was flooded with sewer water. He says the damage cost more than $100,000. His insurance covered less than 1/3 of that.
I refinanced my house to get a little bit more money and be able to give that to a contractor.
Auger filed a claim with the city, arguing his own drainage system and pumps were working fine that day. There was just so much water coming in, they couldn't keep up. After months of back and forth, he received a letter from the city's insurer saying his claim was transferred to a city service provider. The letter claims that company, Abtec Inc., may be responsible for a problem at a pumping station, namely inadequate evacuation of the city's sewers. After that, Auger says it was radio silence. Eventually, the city told him that his file was closed. The city says its own insurer concluded that the city was not liable because it was force majeure.
I feel that I was not supported by my city, simply. They recognized that there was an issue on their side, even though if it's from a third party. They didn't even try to negotiate anything. They keep me in the dark.
In an email, Abtec Inc.'s parent company denies any responsibility for those events, which are the source of rejected claims and contested legal proceedings.
Climate scientists have said for years that rainfall patterns will become more extreme and it's only going to get worse.
This political science professor says part of the problem is aging infrastructure.
Some of it is overdue, but it's very difficult for municipalities to finance and complete these projects.
So where does that leave homeowners? The Insurance Bureau of Canada says Quebec insurers covered $680 million in damages last year, making 2023 the most expensive year since 1998. But Henstress says at the moment, homeowners bear most of the financial responsibility for basement flooding. This lawyer, who specializes in municipal law, says people can always sue, and the judge will have to decide whether the event was an act of God.
We might review the precipitations during the year, and he will compare it to what quantity of water fell that day.
The judge will also look at whether municipal infrastructure was able to perform its function, but also whether the system in your home was up to code.
So somebody that is an expert has to testify before the court and establish that your equipment was perfectly functioning, and that's a fault of the municipality unless it is an act of God.
Henstress says the solution is for all levels of government to invest more in infrastructure. In the meantime, Quebec does offer a financial assistance program for people who are uninsured, but that it applies to very specific cases.